Hey, what's up? I am back. We're in for another round of drawing and coloring. We got some of our favorites. Crayons. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, I remember playing with crayons as a kid, and I think at some point all of us kind of started, maybe in my generation, millennials. I feel like I'm like the very end of the people who still have that stuck as an internalized thing. Like my generation is probably the last one that was like convinced that at a certain age you can't use crayons anymore. Like, which is bizarre if you really think about it. Like just coloring and drawing in general, I think there's a huge like renaissance of people. Obviously, you know, they have like the, you know, coloring book for adults, but even then that almost feels like it's just trying to make people feel better about doing something that we've deeply internalized as soon as you're a certain age you can't color anymore. Like, it's ridiculous. And I don't know, I've been reclaiming all of that the past several weeks in my art journey, because as I talked about in my most recent upload, the core wound, I talked about this for 20 minutes, so I don't need to rehash it, but basically what I've been doing these past couple of weeks with my art journey, and that I'm going to continue doing forever. I don't plan on ever stopping this time, because I think that you know, I got my chicory root. You know, it's it looks like coffee, but it's not coffee. Definitely not. It has its own. It is robust. It has that boldness to it. But it's caffeine free. It has inulin, which is a prebiotic. I think that, like, basically at some point I associated drawing and coloring and stuff like that, painting. Internally I associated that with like being a child, and I've been trying to reclaim it as an adult at 38 now. These past couple of weeks. Okay, well that's actually kind of messed up. I need to fix this then. What, it shouldn't have been. Oh, something happened with the display capture. Why is it not? Hey, Infestomania. Might I procure some more of the human rights? Well, here you go. Here's some human rights. You have the right to color. You have the right to use crayons if you so choose. You don't need permission to color. You don't need to be a child to color. You're allowed. You are allowed. That's some basic human rights, the right to color. What is actually going on with the display capture? Should not be that small. For some reason it's not taking up the whole canvas size. It's because, okay, transform, fit to screen. Transform. Oh, that's why. Transform, fit to screen. There we go. You don't showing us what you're drawing? Just a second, I'm trying to fix everything. Everything is messed up. We're working with crayons. You guys like crayons? We got crayons. Crayons. Let's go. But I need to fix this because there's something really wrong with my display. So it needs to be, okay, so this needs to be fit to screen. Oh, and how come it's not fitting to screen? Okay, it needs to stretch to screen, no? Yeah, how come it's not? There we go. Transform. Oh. Then how come the display capture is not changing at all? Display capture is supposed to be what? Now where even is it? There, okay, there. There we go. Now I fixed it. Lock, lock. Yeah, because basically... what was happening is it was capturing the screen. You're not good with computer? The Brazilian jazz song? Stress my screen, baby. Background music, maybe you want to go on a journey? You should go on a journey, Yosef. Yeah, so basically the issue was that all the things were fucked up. Okay. Okay, now we're good to go. And I just want to have a... we already streamed earlier, but I just wanted to kind of have a more relaxing... It's a cutie. Try Minecraft music. Nah, we're listening to OC Remix. And we're drawing on some with some crayons. I just thought I would want to go live again. How much up for a line of the yellow crayon? $25. Let me fix some things. Okay, yeah, turn off the white balance. Oh, and the low light compensation is the real issue. Is the white balance actually good? Oh, we should actually keep the white balance on. Okay, now we gotta get our environment. Oh, first of all, I just gotta fix the camera. That's what it was. There. Now we got the crayons. Okay, so I already started some color blending. So crayons are a lot like ballpoint, but like ballpoint mixed with colored pencil because they stack optically like ballpoint. but they have an ease of getting into the paper tooth more like pencil. So let's get another layer of yellow as an undercoat. Maybe I should turn on the light. You're not going to really be able to see the yellow, especially on this cream paper. Can you define thermodynamics? It's, from my understanding, thermodynamics are the way heat changes the density of air. Am I right? Okay, we gotta leave some tooth of the paper for additional layering. Okay, and about the next one, like, let's do a line of some gray. Can you convert drawing into real object? I don't think I have that capability. I'm sorry. I don't think I have that technology. I don't think I can make it real. Maybe with shifting. Hey, Borutan. Oh, something. I have not showed it in the vertical. Okay. What is going on? How come it's not showing it in the vertical? Oh, I need to reset everything, I think. Wait, what the hell is going on? Oh, something dark side. What the hell? What is going on with the vertical sources? It won't let me adjust it. Hello, what's up, Ethan Cooper? How you doing? I'm just trying to fix my vertical live stream. I don't know what's going on with this. Like, I don't actually know what's happened. What is happening here? Oh, there we go. Jesus. Is it not even showing it at all? Okay. That's just okay. Okay. You get a lot of trolls. Curious, but what you feel like you had to transition? I've talked about it way too many times on the stream. You can go watch my YouTube shorts and stuff. If you have to ask... It's one of those things where it's like, if you have to ask, then... Yeah. I know you're not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying, like, I've talked about it a lot on my stream, so I'm trying to not always be talking about it. It's just kind of exhausting. I've made plenty of videos talking about it. You can go through my YouTube channel if you're really interested. I talk about it a lot. In fact, I think I talked about it this previous live stream, so you can go watch that. I talked about it a lot the previous live stream if you're interested. But don't feel obligated. Okay, now what is this gonna look like if I do display capture? No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's just, it's one of those things where... I'm gonna have to completely realign this again. Basically, this is supposed to be... Oh. Ah! This is supposed to be... This is how burgers are supposed to be. The fries, they blend so perfectly. Basically, yeah, I'm trying to get the center correctly. Okay, display capture. Basically, Yeah, it should be... That should be in the center, in the dead center. The red light needs to be... There we go. I think that's right. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that's how it was. I'm pretty sure. Okay, what are you drawing? We're just having like a free-form drawing session. Not really trying too hard lately to just... I'm not really trying to commit myself to any particular drawing project. Oh, okay, now this is screwed up again. Jesus Christ. Okay, the display capture is the problem. Or is it? Okay. Yeah, sorry, technical difficulties. Apologize for that. Oh, and I was gonna get the other YouTube chat. That's how this whole thing started, was I saw that the chat was messed up on the vertical live stream. I mean, that the screen was messed up. You also want to say you're a beautiful young woman and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Oh, thank you, Ethan. Yeah, no, I mean, basically, it's just... At this point, I think in this specific regard, listen to every trans person who has had zero regret, and that's exactly the same experience. It's, you know, like you can basically copy paste any trans person out there, their own experience of transitioning, about why we transition is going to pretty much be the exact same for every single trans person. Obviously I can't speak for everybody, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that it's most likely gonna be true. That pretty much it's the same reason why anybody does anything. It's basically either I live a life worth living or I don't. Or if I don't really want to get into it because it's really depressing and very personal. And I've gotten into it a lot on stream, and it's gotten me to a place of deep depression, constantly going over it. And so I try to just focus on the here and now, where I am now. I've gone through all my surgeries. I've talked about it at length these past 6 years. So if you are interested, I'm sorry that you have to go through all that content, but for how hard it is for you to sift through that content, think how hard it is for me to have lived it. Yeah, same causes. I mean, it's just... The TLDR... It's just it's like a deep feeling of wrongness. And when you finally know what it is and you finally do something about it, that wrongness disappears. And so it's pretty much a no-brainer. Well, thank you, Ethan. It's pretty much a no-brainer. Like, if something works for you, and you know it works, and it keeps working, at what point do you just say, you know what? I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off and accept it. You know, that's how it went. It took me 13 years to finally admit that, so... You're willing to learn? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, though. I mean, you don't have to sift through all my content. I literally just told you it's not that deep. Like, it is deep, but it's not that deep. If that makes any sense? Like, it's not some super complicated thing. It's just hard for people to accept it. Because they think that it needs to be this really complicated thing. It's not that complicated. It's... Things felt wrong. It was a deep wrongness in my entire body. And when I started accepting my gender, that feeling started to go away. And when I started hormones, that feeling started to go away. When I changed my name and pronouns, that feeling started to go away. When I got my surgeries, that feeling went away until I got my final surgery, the vaginoplasty, and the feeling completely washed away. Now I have to deal with social problems. An eternal moment and can be whatever you want. Exactly. We're all just here in this eternal moment. Like, have you seen those alien shorts? Like it's a bit, or maybe it's real. It's like two aliens and they're like doing a podcast. Have those guys been showing up on your feed? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? They're like these blue alien people, and it's like they're in having a podcast. It's great. I love it. They're like, imagine, like, how come humans, they're like talking about stuff that humans do that are just ridiculous. Some of the points that I heard. Yeah, I mean, sometimes just listening is more powerful than anything. I've talked about it a lot, though. I'm glad that you're able to listen. That's really rare sometimes, especially on my live stream. I don't usually expect people to be completely open to stuff. I kind of just usually trying to keep things neutral here the best I can. That's why we're doing art. Art is something that everybody can understand. It's something I can understand. It's helping me sort through a lot of stuff, emotionally, psychologically. So, and even something like crayons that are like the cheapest possible tool you can probably get to help me understand how different colors work optically, and just to feel it, the tactile feel and the enjoyment of creating something that I think that we lose as we get older. We forget that there's a reason why we played with crayons as a kid, and it doesn't go away just because we're older. Like I said, the concept of being a trans seems so weird to me, and I was also being exposed to be so much hate and information. Yeah, there's a lot of it is misinformation. There's genuinely like malicious stuff going on. There's extreme misinformation. They're twisting very... I don't want to get into this. There's plenty of people talking about this. There's plenty of political commentators talking about this. Anything I would say would be pretty much the same thing that you would have heard from someone like Hassan or Destiny or Vosh. You know, the more left leaning, or like, you know, the David Pakman show. Basically all the left leaning news outlets. Basically everything they say, there's really nothing more I can add other than my own personal experience. But to be real, like, I feel like when it comes to trans stuff, that's like the least value I can offer you on my live stream. I can give you my personal experience, but I've talked about that at length. You're Louis's microwave? What? Hi. Louis's microwave? Sharing perspective is essential. Yeah. And here's the thing is I'm a very nuanced person. I have a very complicated life. And transness is actually, I'm going to be real here, transness is the simplest part of my life. And I'm not even exaggerating. It is the most straightforward, obvious part of my life. Nothing about it was confusing. Well, once I started actually transitioning. Once I actually started transitioning, everything came into place, and it was not... I didn't have to think about it. It was just, this works. My life works. And it only proved more and more as time went on. And after the surgery, that was the final confirmation. Like there was no going back after that. But at that point, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is probably the right choice. Like at some point, you just got to make a decision, right, in life about anything. Like at some point, you have to stop delaying things. At some point, you just have to take action, and it was a very serious question to answer, and I answered it. Oh, well, thank you, Ethan. Yeah, I know that for a lot of people, transness is a very novel topic because they don't live it, and I guess maybe I need to kind of take a step back a bit and realize that people asking about it on the stream is actually a good sign. And not be annoyed by it. I'm sorry if I gave you that impression that I'm annoyed by it, but I think that it's there's much worse things can happen. I've had much worse in my stream. You're uber straight? Yeah, and that's fine. I think it's just that, like, transness is kind of complex to a lot of people. But it's really as simple as this. Do you want to live a life worth living, or do you not want to live a life worth living? That's all it comes down to. I know it's hard for people to actually believe that, but it is true, and I don't know how to say it any more honestly. Like, I don't know how to say it any more clearly. It's a choice between living a life worth living or not living a life worth living. So it's like the easiest choice you can possibly make once you know what it is. Like, getting to the point where you know what it is can be complicated. But once you know what it is, it's not complicated at all. It's literally that binary of a decision. Do you want to live a life worth living, or don't you? And you'd be surprised how hard that decision is to make for some people. For some people, they keep on trying to just wait and see, right? For some people, they're just like, maybe if I wait a few years, I'll change my mind. And they don't. They don't change their mind. Oh, do I still have autofocus on? Okay. I need to fix this again. Jesus Christ. Wait, do I have color correction on? Have autofocus on? Oh, oops. Yeah, the exposure. Yeah, no, they bombard me with insults, but I think in your case, it's not that I'm worried about insults, although I have been duped before. But it's not so much that, it's that I'm exhausted from talking about it. I lived it for 6 years, and now I went through my surgeries, and people are catching up. Because for people coming to my channel, transness is new for them. It's not new for me. And I need to kind of maybe count my blessings, because the fact that people are asking about it and curious is like a really good sign. But I also need to take care of my mental health, Honestly, even though it's I say that, but if I start my stream, it's because I'm willing to talk about stuff. Although it's just, I can still curate what I talk about. I just hope that people understand why I might be reluctant to talk about certain topics. I have talked about it before, so it's not like I'm not trying to hide my opinions or whatever, or hide my life. I've shared it multiple times. Even just looking through my YouTube shorts, basically look for anything that says trans in it, and you can hear a lot more. If you go through my live stream, my previous live stream today, for example, I talked at length about transness. It was more political though, but it's because I got people coming in who were political Andes that thought I was like, you know, Hassan or Asmongold or something. Do you remember me? I pooped. Your local weirdo. I thought your dog pooped. Well, let's just not talk about the dog poop, okay? You pooped before, and I'll poop again. Yeah, we're just relaxing, doing some coloring with crayons. I also got, we're not going to use them today. I think I might use them another time. I got some charcoals. I'm going to have to wear gloves with these. Got some charcoals. We'll work on that another time. And I got some soft pastels. I'm supposed to be getting some oil pastels too. But that's for another day. Just a second. Damn, it's hailing outside. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Oh wait, let's turn off the music and... You guys hear it? You guys hear the rain? McDonald's versus Carl's Jr. Let's put that in the poll. Favorite fast food? McDonald's, Carl's Jr. Yeah, favorite fast food, you guys. Let's go. McDonald's so far with 2 votes. Thank you for your time and being understanding. Well, thank you for being here and having an open mind. I know you've been here before, and I'm glad that I'm the person that is giving you this opportunity to have an open mind. Having an open mind can open doors for ourselves. I have to keep an open mind too. There's people that I have preconceived notions about, and I learned that a lot of the times that instinct might be right, but it doesn't mean every single person is bad. And sometimes you can have the most meaningful relationships if you just, friendships and such. If you just kind of open your mind up, it's like a real thing. And for some reason, it's so easy to believe these things when you're a child, and then life kind of comes crashing down on you, and you realize it's a lot harder to hold these open-minded beliefs because people make it hard to but I feel like, it's even more important now than ever to truly believe in humanity when it's at its darkest. People say, oh, I've given up on humanity. Please don't. We need it now more than ever. Yeah, please don't give up on humanity. I'm humanity. I don't want you to give up on me. Okay. Yeah, Yeah, sometimes I just like have to wrestle with with my UI. Like, geez. Is that a house? I have no idea what it is. I'm kind of just making random scribbles lately. Not really at the point where I can try to draw something in particular. I'm just trying to learn confidence and learn the medium of different mediums. And I switch mediums for novelty and, you know, my main success condition right now in my artist journey is to show up, and however possible. So if having fun and trying out different mediums and just kind of like having an exploration on the page, live on stream or off stream. Goodbye for now. Well, thank you for stopping by, Ethan. Yeah, I'm thank you for being really understanding of things. I'm in a new phase of my life where being trans is not really a center focus anymore. I got other things. I know people are going to be curious, and I do try to give some insight when I can to help people understand, but it is like an internal difference. That's why I got the surgeries in the first place, is so that I don't have to constantly be thinking about it. So I also need to kind of realize that it's a good problem to have, that people are coming in with curiosity rather than animosity. So I'm never going to forget that for every hateful person, there's probably about 10 or more people that are supportive, or at the least very, like, kind of indifferent. So it's like, it's easy to look at all the haters in your comments and think that that's the majority of people. It's not. Most people probably don't even comment ever on any YouTube channel. Like, they probably just watch videos and then they have their own thoughts and they don't share them. And that's fine. It's normal, actually. You don't believe that it should be viewed as such a hateful... Yeah. People expressing themselves, they're trying... The way I see it is they're trying to figure it out. But they're very resistant, and I don't really want to get into that. Maybe they need to go to therapy. Yeah, this is a topic. It always steers into a place of the same exact political rhetoric that's on the left side of content creators. So I just refer you to that. If you really want to, like, listen to the same kind of rhetoric, go listen to Hassan or Destiny or Vosh or Midas Touch Network or all these, like, David Pakman's show. Like, listen to them talk about trans stuff, because it's going to be the same exact things I'm talking about. That's where I get all my information about trans people anyway. I lived it myself, but, like, as far as, like, trans, like, news... Pretty much Aaron in the Morning. Aaron in the Morning is like the primary transgender news in English language. So if you really want to learn about transgender stuff, subscribe to Aaron in the Morning. It's an email list. And it's not just Aaron anymore. It's several people, guest writers, so all of them have different reports on transgender legal stuff and politics. And if you're interested in that, they're a better source than me. I am not a political content creator. I am literally drawing with crayons. Okay? Like I am not here to do... I am not going to handle it that very well. They are handling it so much better than I am. If you really want that kind of stuff, go listen to them, because I am not... I'm just going to be regurgitating what they say anyway. So it's like a secondhand source, other than my own experience. Guys, what's happening? Hey, Plushie. We're coloring with crayons. Yeah, don't worry about them. Exactly, Pat. Yeah, exactly. I just, it's a constant battle of like, I think it's like, yeah, I did choose to start my stream, so it does put me at a more like kind of conversational state, which also kind of, there is a risk psychologically whenever you go live or go on social media in any form. Whenever you go live, you do expose yourself to these kind of conversations, and it's just kind of part of the reality. But I feel like sometimes exposing yourself that way to those kind of things, it makes us stronger. Because now I'm not constantly avoiding difficult topics, but it doesn't mean we always have to talk about it. And like I said, anything that I say about politics stuff, it's basically I'm not even up to speed because I'm not constantly watching political content creators anymore. I used to watch Hassan and Destiny and Vosh and Asmongold constantly. You kind of can't get rid of Asmongold. He's kind of like a cockroach. I hope that he gets past this phase of his content creation. I really miss when he just played World of Warcraft. That was actually kind of fun when he did stuff like that. I liked his style for that, but I don't like his political stuff. It's really just cringe. And just political stuff in general is pretty cringe, and I'm tired of it. There's enough people talking about politics on YouTube. I don't want to be another one of them. I just want to have fun. Play some World of Warcraft. Draw some pictures. Color with crayons. Talk about life, So, I'm not a political... Yeah, the whole trans Kenny thing. That was from earlier today. Yeah, that was this morning's stream. Yeah. Carl's Jr. is at 33. Yeah, 67% for McDonald's. Hey, David. Yeah, the whole thing is just... If that's what you're looking for, you're better off going to those already established political content creators. The best source I would say would be, if you really want to learn like unbiased, unadulterated news about transgender stuff in politics, Aaron in the Morning. The absolute #1 source of transgender news. Anything you get from like Hassan or Destiny or Vosh is going to be heavily like it's going to be heavily opinionated, left-leaning, kind of like more liberal stuff. Aaron in the Morning's more objective. Like, it's just like the news. Right? So if it's the most up-to-date transgender news you can possibly find. Yeah, the rain is really coming down. It's crazy. I don't know if he's intentionally hateful. We could talk about Asmongold a little bit. It's actually a lot more complicated than people think. People think that he's just a hateful guy. He's something worse. He's an algorithm chaser. You need to know this about him. He will do whatever will get him the most views. And like, that's who he is. He's a professional grifter. And he's not ashamed of it. He doesn't hide it. I don't know why people seem to not get it. That's who he's always been. He's going to do whatever gets him the most clicks on YouTube. And he does speak his mind, but I think also he's influenced by... I'm not saying he's grifting by like lying. I'm saying he's only talking about this really heavily because it's getting him a lot of views. And I think like what it is I think he's just really like, he doesn't explore a concept outside of a vacuum. It's an issue a lot of people have. This isn't even about politics. It's a way that someone's mind works. Hassan's the Asmongold of the left. I mean, I don't know about all this, but I got kind of tired of listening to Hassan. He's very supportive of trans people, and I respect him for that, and I thank him for that. He has done more for the trans community than a lot of people, but I feel like things changed at a certain point and it got very vitriolic. And it became less about spreading awareness and spreading education. It became more about getting Twitter fucked up. Maybe it was always like that. Maybe I was just kidding myself, but I think the difference between Hassan and Asmongold, I think Asmongold genuinely believes what he's saying, but the problem is he doesn't have the level of, it's not that he's dumb. It's that he's angling his beliefs in a way that he only sees he doesn't see the forest for the trees. He sees a branch. He sees a leaf. He only sees one little teeny tiny thing, and he ignores everything else around him. And he assumes that just because he has the opinion, that him having the opinion and that him being right about a particular element of it makes his entire opinion right, when it's much more complex than that. Life is always more complex than that. But his way of thinking is, what I've noticed, is that he says something and he says, people are going to hate me, but they're not going to call me a liar. That is selective facts, where he's selecting things that you can't possibly argue. And when you do argue them, he finds some other reason to shut it down. He has a lot of fallacies in his logic, and he knows this, I'm pretty sure. And if he doesn't know it, he's definitely capitalizing on it. His audience is extremely, influenced by him. They are easily influenced. They see somebody who is an absolute, degenerate gamer, total loser, who agrees with their opinions, and they see him as a god. And I could say the same thing about Hassan. This is not unique to Asmongold. This is just a streamer problem in general. That people are going to streamers to find their opinion instead of thinking for themselves. At this point, I already know what I believe. I already know what I think. I know what my lived experience is. I have stopped watching political content. I do. You can't really avoid it. I do get updates periodically, but I'm not watching it every day. I used to watch Hassan every day. It was screwing with my head because it was there was a little glimmer of hope inside of me, because when you're a trans woman and you're transitioning and you're waiting for surgeries, and then this was while I was waiting for surgeries, and you see someone like Hassan who has 80,000 viewers or something and is championing trans people. It does something inside of you where it's there's hope, right? When you see somebody with that many viewers, with that large of a platform, championing you and defending you and educating people about you. Destiny was also doing this. And so was Vosh. Three men that are extremely large audience political content creators that were defending trans people because we barely have a voice. In fact, I think what I like what Hassan said, and this is kind of also what helped me make the final nail in the coffin of just avoiding political content by and large, was he said the best thing you can possibly do if you're a trans person is to just be normal. Don't get political. I know that it sounds really bad when you say this, but your voice literally will not be heard. People don't even respect you, and they don't even listen to cisgender dudes like Hassan. So it's if he has this huge giant platform with 80,000 people concurrently, and he's championing trans stuff, it's he's a paladin. He's doing that for us, so that we can just live our lives, be normal, show people rather than tell them who we are. And yeah, there's going to be some bad apples. I don't really want to get into all the negative stuff that's happened in the trans community, but it does happen because people are imperfect, people are flawed, there are bad eggs. But I hope I don't think I'm one of them. I think I'm a good person, and I try really hard to be good. I try to help people, but I think the best thing I can do is not be political, because that would destroy me. If I went into politics, and making political content and making that my entire driving force of revenue, that would eat me alive. And as a trans person, would I even be that effective? If I could, I mean, maybe, but like, I had to make a choice. I'm like, maybe I should just live my life. And I think he's right when he said that. Like, think about it. How many trans people have people in my chat actually met in their personal life? And we're not talking about social media, but even then, you probably rarely have seen content from trans people. But how many actual trans people do you know in your personal life? And I'm betting most of the people who come into my chat, especially the people who are like angry for me existing and stuff like that, I bet they've never met a trans person in their life. So if I just am normal, and obviously it's hard to convince somebody that you're normal. They're going to find ways to convince themselves that you're a freak or whatever. I can't change that. But the more normal I am, the more I live my life and be happy and just show rather than telling, and like just live a successful life. Be as successful as I can in my own little world. That's probably doing more political activism than any amount of protesting. That is me protesting. I'm protesting the political drive. I'm protesting political content. I don't want that to take over my life. I don't want to be a political content creator. I don't want to grift. Okay, I want to live my life. I want to be happy. I want to make art. I want to make content. I want to make friends. I want to have a normal life. I don't want to have a political life. I chose not to run for office or anything like that because I didn't want to have a political life. I just want to have a normal life. I mean, I guess there is no such real thing as normal, but steal a burger? Don't steal a burger, guys. Just to be clear. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know about all the political stuff that RQBT is bringing in, but I mean, basically to kind of rein in the conversation, I decided to just do my own thing, to be a normal person, to make my own content that I want to make, which includes art, which includes playing World of Warcraft, which includes just hanging out and having these slight armchair politics discussions from time to time, because we're just in an inherently political landscape right now. Like, but I mean, I'm not trying to be a political content creator. Those are two different things, right? Yeah, I mean, sometimes when people actually have trans people in their lives and they give people the benefit of the doubt, most people seem to find us like some of the most meaningful people in their life, or the most pleasant people. Because it's like, hey, it's like we don't give a fuck anymore. We don't waste time anymore. That's the vibe I get, at least for myself. When you've done all this internal work, especially after getting surgeries, you don't give a flying fuck what anybody thinks, and you're not gonna wait for life to pass you by anymore. It opens up inside of me, right? It opens something up inside of me that, like, I feel like everybody is trying to awaken inside themselves. The inner child, the one that says, I'm not going to wait for life. I am going to go out and live life. Some people don't get that until they're 60 or 70. And I unlocked it at 38. Your bassist is trans? Nice. Oh, we got musician. Let's go. I'm a musician. We haven't done any musical content in a while. I've not practiced my instruments in a while. I do hope one day to bring music back into my life. But for now, I'm just taking it easy, doing some drawing, and trying to make whatever content I can. But right now it's just like, YouTube Shorts, for me, I'm having a huge trend of upward growth. I'm getting a lot of new subscribers from my vertical live streams, from my YouTube Shorts. I'm getting a significant amount of viewers. I had more viewers this year, 2026, in the 2 months, than I did all of 2025. And it's because I started uploading more shorts, and it's because I started doing vertical live streams. So I'm going to keep doing this. I'm getting like some real growth. It's significant. Like, look, I mean, it might not sound like a lot. Some people, they would look at it and they'd say like, oh, you're delusional, whatever. You're not looking at the big picture. Like, historically, I have done absolutely terribly with live streaming and with content creation. And now I'm starting to get the kind of numbers that align with some of my more spicier content. Maybe not as much, but I haven't really been able to do that kind of content for a while either. So right now I'm kind of focused on what I can do to regulate myself while I go through this bureaucratic process that is eating up my entire soul. I need something to breathe. Like, I need to just be doing art. You wouldn't have... See, everyone thinks that I'm 30 or 26 or something. It's like, I guess it might just be genetics. And also, I do take care of myself really well. I could do better, but it's just more like min-maxing at this point. Like, I need to do more exercise. I did some stair climbs yesterday. Kind of taking it easy today, but all in all, like, I'm pretty athletic. I'm just less active than I would like to be right now, but I'm getting there. And I'm modeling tomorrow, which is going to be a workout. It's basically like standing for like 10 to 20 minutes at a time sometimes, right? And poses to basically, it's like a workout after the end of it. I feel like I've had a workout at the end of it. I want to keep doing that. I want to keep modeling. I want to see where it takes me. Even though right now it's modeling for artists at college. But I think big picture. I don't think in the moment. I don't think, how are you going to make a living doing this? It's like, well, I get SSI, so I already get monthly payments of, money, but it's more than that. Like, how are you supposed to grow something if you don't start somewhere? And I stopped caring. A lot of people, you listen to the regrets they've had in life, it's because they'll say things like they wish they did the things they really wanted to do earlier in life, like in their 30s or 40s. When they're like 70, 80, 90, 100, people say they wish they started living their life at 40 instead of 60. Or they wish they started living their life at 20 instead of 30. Or 30 instead of 40. Or 40 instead of 50. Like, right, they wish they started living the life they want to live. And so I'm not going to make that same mistake. It's so easy to, because in the moment, it's like the easiest choice in the world to focus more on what you think you need rather than what you actually need. Because like when I'm like 60, 70, 80, 90, I don't want to have any regrets. Like at all. And that's why things started changing 6 years ago. That's why I started transitioning. I was like, I don't want to be like old and have all these regrets. I've seen it happen to people. They're like on their deathbed and, you'll see like things that they wish they did earlier. And it's like, I don't want to be one of those people who's just looking back at her life and being like, oh, I wish I should have done that thing. I wish I didn't give up art, or I wish I transitioned. So I wouldn't have even identified as female if I even got to that point. I don't even know if I would have gotten to that age. I don't even know if I would have been alive right now. I'm going to be absolutely honest. I don't want to depress anybody, but that's about all I'm going to say about that. But goddamn. Like, if I didn't accept this part of myself, I don't even know if I would have made it. Hey, lemon gay ass. But we don't need to think about depressing things. I was just basically saying, I don't want to be old and gray and have a life of regrets. Of like, oh, I wish I pursued modeling when I was younger. Some people are 70 and just starting modeling. In careers that people think that are impossible for anybody below 30. And thrive. And I also, like, there's this thing about art. that people think that they're too old to start art. Some people even think they're too old when they're like 19. But some people seem to have this idea that if you haven't learned art when you were like starting when you were like 6 or 7, then it's over, that you're never going to get good enough. But as an adult, you have a lot of life experience. And you have the capability of understanding things at a deeper level than a child does. So in some elements, you're actually going to improve much better than if you started when you were younger. There are responsibilities that you have as an adult that do make time management harder, but that's a problem that can be solved. It's not an impossible problem. Yeah, it's tough and scary, and I'm done with it. I'm glad. It's all over. It was scary for a bit, especially with... I don't want to get into politics again, but especially considering everything that's going on right now, I may have dodged a bullet. I think I got really lucky, but I worked for it. I made my own luck, and that's about all I have to say about that. Are you gonna stick it in your fridge? What? Oh, I heard that doing crayons, if you put it in coldness, it like makes it like different. Fridge. Put it in the fridge. Put it in the fridge. Shut the front door. Shut the front door. McDonald's. So we got 8 votes so far. 75% for McDonald's. So many colors to choose from. Yeah, I think working with crayons is good. In between like watercolors or pastels or acrylics. I'm hanging on avoiding oil painting until I move out of here. It's gonna be symbolic. Like I'm gonna start doing oils when my life changes. And there's a lot of fundamentals I can learn, especially with oil pastels. From what I understand, obviously it's going to be different, but apparently oil pastels work a lot like oil paint. Do you sell your art? Hell no. You think I have that kind of technical ability? I'm barely even, like, good enough for live streaming it. Like, we're just doing something to hang out, and I'm sharing my art journey live on stream. There's no way I can sell this. Not unless I got, like, super crazy famous, and then it's not even about the art, it's about the name it's attached to. Like if Logan Paul drew this, you know that you could probably sell it for like tens of thousands of dollars, right? Like it's a Pikachu card. Sell it for $16 million. But yeah, I think like working with crayons in between stages of kind of more, I wouldn't say more advanced, because crayons are pretty advanced. Like they have a lot less forgiveness than like other mediums, but more expensive mediums. So crayons are super cheap. So I can work with understanding colors and stuff like that with a cheap medium, and then it'll transfer over to other mediums like watercolor and like acrylics and oils and pastels. I don't know. I mean, I have a hard time with like, I don't really follow any specific artists. I don't know if I've ever been this way, but I have a really hard time. This is the wrong word, but it explains the idea. It's the wrong word. I don't really practice hero worship. But it's not hero worship. That's way too extreme. That's not the right word. I don't really see people as like, oh, this is my favorite XYZ. I do, over time, if I repeat something enough, I end up, having like things I frequently like observe or listen to, like music and stuff. Like for example, with music, some of my favorite artists, it depends on the genre, right? So like when I listen to a lot of OC Remix nowadays, but like when it comes to like music in general throughout my life, like I've had multiple different stages of like, I basically just go where my taste goes. I am a jazz musician and a classical musician and just a general like artist in general, and I am more focused on the mediums and not the artists. If that makes any sense. I don't even know if I'm mentally capable to not separate them. Because mentally, I don't really think, like when I think of like John Coltrane, for example, I'm not really thinking about John Coltrane. I'm thinking about his saxophone playing. You got 20 years on you? So, like, I don't really think about, like, Miles. I mean, obviously, people like Miles Davis or John Coltrane, they have their own unique sound, so it's like a signature. But, I'm trying to illustrate a point that when I listen to music, I don't hear, like, with Miles Davis, it's pretty obvious you listen to Miles Davis, but, like, and John Coltrane, although not always, but, like, it's pretty obvious. But I'm trying to illustrate a point that I'm not paying attention to the artist. I'm paying attention to the work. I'm paying attention to the medium. When I look at art, I don't see an artist. I see their work, because that's all I'm seeing. I don't actually know the person. I would have to, and there's a separation where it's like if people do a lot of interviews, then I start to gravitate towards them, because then I start to get to know them, at least what they say. And there's certain people that like, hey, I like this way this person does interviews, and then it becomes more of like, okay, I like this person's style. because I like how they interview. I don't really know. Mel Gibson? Yeah, I mean, I don't really know too much about all that. After everything that's happened the past couple of years, I feel like some people should be uncanceled. Especially if they've kind of, apparently he, like, apologized for it. And I didn't even know about that. But I don't know, it does give me a distaste. I really don't like anti-Semitic kind of stuff. I don't like it when people just hate people for being different. Well, I am trans, so people think that about me. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth when people are anti-Semitic. My name is Rebecca, but I'm not Jewish. But still, you don't have to be Jewish to think it's gross to like think badly about someone just because they're Jewish. Like I mean, I don't really need to go over the Jewish history, but I think they have been targeted pretty heavily. And I guess it's trans people's turn. We didn't get our turn loud enough last time, but now it's our turn. Jesus Christ. I'm scared. I don't want to be like, I don't want to pretend that I'm not scared. I'm really scared about the future. Asmon is more genuine? Are you guys still talking about Hassan? Is he a Weasley little liar? I don't even know. I'm not even at paid prices. I don't even want to investigate what you say about either of those people. I mean, I have my own opinions about both of them. And honestly, people are going to have their own opinions. But it's just, like I said, there's a reason why I don't watch Hassan anymore. That's basically all. There's issues I have. And I do have issues with the Asmongold. I know Asmon is more genuine. I do respect him more. Even though he completely has disagreeing opinions. Because it's not about opinions. Somebody agreeing with me or disagreeing with me is not what determines my respect for them. I respect somebody who disagrees with me but is genuine than somebody who agrees with me but is disingenuine. Now that being said, I don't truly think Hassan is hurting trans people. I think he's been genuinely, at the very least, wanting to help trans people. He has been fighting for us for a long time. However, there was a point where I just said, enough is enough. This is very vitriolic, very grifty type of content. And I'm sorry, Hassan, but I had to, for my sanity, I had to stop watching. Like, I can't deal with politics. And I stopped really paying attention to Asmongold too, because it's also painful because he says very asinine things. That it's like sometimes just literally targeting people like me. And I'm like, dude, like, well, it's hard to listen to somebody talking about misinformation as if it's true. And just like spreading extremely ignorant opinions. And it's like, it's just painful. I wish that Asmongold would like calm down. I wish Hassan would calm down. I wish all these content creators would calm down. I wish humanity would calm down. This algorithm-centric obsession with you have to maintain your belief for as long as possible because you're monetizing it. I don't like what that's doing to society, and I think that we can do it a different way. I don't know how, but I think there is a way out. And I think that, like, I'm just getting tired of it. I think people are going to get tired of it. That kind of stuff is, I don't know if it's ever going to be non-profitable. But I think if enough people get tired of it, they'll stop doing it. Because people are just, we're human beings. We're nuanced. We have different opinions. We're just trying to live our life. And I think there's a lot of escalation that happens. And it's like, somebody can be angry at you, but if they were in a normal circumstance, there's no way in hell they would be escalating to the level they do. And I just think, like, it encourages escalation rather than nuance. All these, like, grifting political content creators. I just don't like it. I don't know if Asmon really belongs with them. I actually kind of feel like he's just going through a phase. I don't think he's up for it, to be honest. He doesn't seem like the type of person that wants to grift. I think as soon as he gets tired of it, he's going to stop. He's not like all these other political content creators, like people like Destiny. I do believe that they like truly believe in what they're doing. After Collargate, okay, come on. I don't even want to open up that can of worms. Jesus Christ, bro. It's probably already too late. No, it's never too late, but it's probably already too late because I've already started talking about these people. I'm catching strays already. Jesus. He's the human embodiment of a roach, and I think that he plays into that. I really don't think it's because he's grifting. I think it's because he's just like a troll. And but I also think he genuinely believes the things he says, but I also think he's extremely misaligned and misinformed. And that I think he's very narrow in how he looks at things, and he is not incentivized to look deeper. He's making plenty of money doing what he's doing. Yeah, Destiny and Vosh are weirdos too. I never said they weren't weirdos. I just said their content. Everyone's a weirdo. I do think they're weirdos. I'm a weirdo, but like not the kind of weirdo they are. I don't even know. I can't confirm anything. I don't want to confirm anything. To say that I can confirm anything and have a strong opinion either direction is just disingenuous. I don't know these people. I've never met them. I've only seen their content. And even then, I've avoided most of their content because it's very vitriolic. It's very divisive. And obviously, there are people just doing that all around. It's not just them. And they're just profiting from it. And they're trying to do good. I do genuinely believe that these people are trying to do something good. And I don't think that it would be so easy to say jump on the dog pile and be like, oh, Hassan is just a grifter. He's a fake, communist or whatever the hell. I don't like those kind of conversations because it doesn't go anywhere. What's the point? I really think that it's more like, I do think these people have a genuine interest in trying to help the world. Some people want to see it burn. I don't think Asmongold, Hassan, Destiny, or Vosh are fitting that bill. There are people who are genuinely trying to see the world burn, and that's like an upper level. That's like the Alex Jones types, right? That's like way above. That's like the Ben Shapiro kind of shit. The like, let's line up all the transgenders types, right? Okay, I don't want to go further into that, but you know what I'm talking about. Those are like extreme. I don't know if these content creators are heading that direction. I hope not. I hope that they see the light and just start being normal. But whatever, they're different people. I can only control myself. I'm going to do my own content. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to live my own life. I have political opinions. I kind of have to. Everyone kind of has to nowadays. But honestly, it doesn't mean I have to let it take over my life. Yeah, I mean, I do think Asmon, I think everybody has something good to contribute. I do think I do watch Asmongold sometimes. There are sometimes where I just click away because I have that ability. There are sometimes I just click away because I'm like, this is gross. Like, he's just talking like alt-right talking points, regurgitated. I'm like, I've heard this enough. I don't need to hear it more. I hear it all the time. I've heard it already. He's behind on the rhetoric. He's basically just, he's fishing for the surface level viewers. It's easy, like low-hanging fruit. And he's always been a low-hanging fruit kind of guy. And more power to him. He can do it. Most people can. He has the ability to take the lowest hanging fruit. And I'm not going to judge him for taking it. It works for him. Like, whatever. He's making his money. He enjoys it, apparently. I don't really know if he does or not, but... there are some things that I highly respect about him. And it doesn't mean I agree with everything he says. but he's the kind of person where I feel like even though he seems to be very misinformed and even vitriolic, I mean, he's at least stirring the pot of extremely like alt-right people. I still think I could sit down and have dinner with him. And that's like, there's not many people in the content space that I feel like I could say that. Now maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like he's the kind of person that you can completely disagree with him, but still like have a steak, right? Like eat some barbecue. Talk about video games. Like I could still probably see myself, if like I'm, you know, obviously like an imaginary world. I don't know if that would ever happen. I don't think he leaves the house. But either way, I'm pretty sure like he has the kind of like personality that he can say the most dog shit things, but I think like he still understands that on a personal level there is some kind of peace that humans kind of require. And I don't know. I honestly just don't know, because I don't know these people. I don't know Hassan. I don't know Destiny. I don't know Vosh. I don't know if I'd be able to sit down for dinner with them. Any of these people, because I don't know them. Yeah, I mean, obviously they're surface level it's armchair politics, but it makes them a lot of money, and so more power to them, you know, because they're farming the algorithm. It's the lowest hanging fruit. If they can do it, more power to them. Hey, I mean, if I could make money doing what they do, I'd probably be doing it too, but for my sanity, I don't want, and since I'm not making money that way, I have the luxury of not doing it. In the first place, I can just do my own thing. WoW seems crazy addictive. I haven't played in 10 days. I have full rested XP. What are you talking about? I actually feel like I'm slacking. I need to be logging in. I want to get level 70. I'm shirking my warrior duties by drawing and coloring. Like, come on, what's wrong with me? I got full rested XP. There's no reason I shouldn't be running dungeons. I'm taking a little bit of a break from WoW for a short time. I will get back to it. Don't worry, we will get a rhythm again. It's just I burned out pretty hard during the pre-patch. But I got my full gear set for the early level 60s. So and then we have full rested XP. I'm kind of waiting through the boosted noobs. The very beginning of the launch of TBC is probably the worst time to actually play. Not just as a content creator, but as just a player. Because right now as a content creator, all the big giant content creators are getting all the views. So I'm going to kind of wait till things like slow down a little bit, and then I'm going to be streaming again on WoW, and I'm going to be playing again. And that's not even a factor, because if I actually wanted to play right now, I'd be playing. But I kind of need to take a little bit of a break, and I'm very strategic about breaking, like taking breaks. I'm very aware of my pitfalls for burnout, and so I'm extremely aware. Like exceptionally aware. And so when I'm taking a break for something, there's a reason. And it doesn't mean I'm gone forever. It just means I'm not playing it at this exact time, and I'm waiting for the time to be right. Don't roach out like Pirate Software. I'm not like Pirate Software at all. And honestly, I don't know. I think he's just kind of like, he got famous too fast. And I think what happened was he doesn't really understand how to, he doesn't understand the politics of streaming. Or maybe he does. Maybe he did this all on purpose. I don't know. I don't think he understands that, like, ego really can tear you down in this industry. And I'm like a nobody. And even I have noticed this. I've seen it happen to content creators. I don't know them personally, but I've seen their downfall. Ego always ruins it. Ego is always going to just give bad vibes and ruin connections and collaborations. It's going to ruin relationships. It's just going to ruin the content in general. So like ego just, and this is just probably just true in life as well, just ego gets in the way. kind of just like gotta relax and just let things go. Now, obviously, there's certain things I can't let go, like obviously, but I have not had the kind of opportunities to do that level of collaboration, so I don't really know what it's like to be at their level. So I'm not going to make a judgment either way. I'm just going to kind of like see that like I don't want to be like that, and I'm not going to make like a moral judgment on the individual. I'm just going to notice what they did and try to learn from it. Him leaving his team to die as a mate. Yeah, that's what everybody's talking about. But also, it was the fallout after that. It was like how he responded to it that everybody was freaking out about. And I think that's stupid. People should just live their own lives, to be honest. I thought it was weird how he responded to it, but it's like, I'm not going to be glued to Twitter all day looking for what people are talking about pirate software. Like, I got my own life. I got my own content I want to make. I may not be as successful as them, but I got my own life to live. I'm not going to waste it being glued to basically like high school drama. Like, geez. Pretty sure. Yeah, it was in hardcore. I know all about it. I was playing hardcore at the time. Because of the whole OnlyFans thing. It got me hyped. That's actually what got me into WoW. And it led me to playing Anniversary. And I am sticking with Anniversary forever now. I'm not going to play any other version of WoW. Maybe Legion when it launches. But I mean, I'm just going to get to Legion eventually when the Anniversary realm switches over. So I'm just going to stick with my warrior and whatever alts I level up. I have a boosted mage at 60, but I'm not geared, but I'm gear on the way to 70. And I have like other alts to level, like a priest 38. I have like a shaman I wanted to level. I have a paladin I wanted to level, but like warrior's my main. And so my warrior is my main character. And I want to see where she goes, Rebecca Smash, all the way through every expansion that the Anniversary realm goes through. I want to have that journey. I don't want to miss out on Burning Crusade. So obviously, I may not be playing right now, but my goal is to get level 70 and to do raids regularly. And to get as close as I can to best in slot gear and to get ranked high as I can in arenas by the end of the Burning Crusade. That is my goal. I will see how far I go. We have time. So I don't want to like, wait forever, obviously, because then I'll run out of time. But that's what I did with the original Anniversary. I got to level 43 on my warrior, and then I stopped playing until the lead up to Outlands. Like the past couple of months before the pre-patch. I started playing again and I got to level 60 and I got all my honor gear. I even got my one-hand sword and shield for tanking and Outland from the honor gear. But I kind of burned out from it, and also there's a lot of there's too many people playing right now, and it's just kind of crazy and bonkers. I feel like if I wait just a little bit while longer, things will relax a little bit on the server. And I'll be able to play the game normally. Instead of just being like, I'm playing because my favorite streamer is playing. I'm playing because I want to be a part of the big rush. Like all the people who are coming in boosting their characters because their favorite content creator started playing. That's going to die out eventually. All the people, and then only the people who are remaining, those who remain, only those who remain are going to be behind, are going to be left. So when that happens, the game's going to be normal again. Right now, we have all the clout chasing or crazed fans, or like the people who are like, I'm going to be the next, I'm going to be the next Zaryu. I'm going to be the next soda poppin'. You got all those people right now. And it's kind of annoying. I'd rather just play the game like normal, and I've been streaming for 6 years, so this is kind of relaxing for me. It's not really, I'm not trying to get clout. I'm just doing this because this is how I interact. And when I stream a gameplay, I'm not trying to get famous. That's stupid. I am getting more views on YouTube though, but it's a different mindset. I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. There's always that like dude or that chick who's like, I'm gonna be the next big streamer, and like their energy is different. There's like a visible difference in the way that they approach their stream than I do. Like I don't know. I'm not above them, I don't think, but it's just I'm just like saying like they're kind of obnoxious to play with sometimes. I don't know. I've never had like a genuinely bad experience playing WoW, except for some. I mean, obviously, I have had weird people. Yeah, I've been streaming for 6 years, but like you have to understand, it's been a part of my lifestyle. There was times I was delusional and trying to grow my stream and trying to be famous, whatever. But it turned into more of like, this is just what I do. This is how I sometimes game. This is how I sometimes do other things, like doing art right now. I do art off stream, but this is the time where I decided to do it on stream. And that's okay. And I kind of treat it as capturing what I'm already doing, but I'm kind of performative. You know, I'm in public. So it's like, I'm kind of like, I'm creating like a third space. I'm not really trying to like make content or go viral. I am making content, but it's like more passive, right? So it's like, I do try to sometimes have the energy to be more putting on a show. I like what S-Fan said about that there's some people that are just like, you can tell that they're like being like not normal, but it's like because they're putting on a show. But then there's people that are just completely different off stream than they are on stream, like completely different personalities. I don't know exactly what he's talking about. I think he probably had some specific things in mind. Like people who are just like absolutely nasty when in private, but like super like, you know, fake and like kind on stream. But like we always have that story, right? Everyone knows about like stories in Hollywood where, you know, don't meet your heroes, right? They're just terrible people. They're rude. They're like mean. Like, there's certain people like that. I don't want to assume that everybody is like that, obviously, but at the same time, it's like, I don't really see people as... I don't really know them, so I'm not going to judge them. I'm just going to look at their content and judge whether or not I like their content or not, which I think is healthy. I don't think that we should be judging people by their content, because if I judge other people by their content, that means people are going to judge me based on my content. And some of my content, I'm literally just performing. And if you judge me based on a character I was playing, then you're going to have a very incorrect view of me. Because I'm putting on a show when I'm like that. And even when I'm somewhat serious, I still am aware that I'm public facing. How often do I stream? Lately I've been streaming every day because I want to show up to do art. And I like recording the process. See, I treat it like a camera. I don't treat it like a stream. I treat it as a place where I record content. And also, because it's useful for me. I want to see how my art progresses over time. And having it documented in real time as I make art, that's valuable. That's like useful content for me. I don't know if it's going to make me famous or anything. That's not in the equation. The equation is I'm making content that I can watch later and see my progress in real time. Like I can watch this later and watch the stream as I was drawing or coloring or painting or whatever. And like look at my technique and like what I'm doing that's working, what I'm doing that's not working, because I'll be in a more objective state of mind. That's useful to me. Or like World of Warcraft, I might say like fun things to try to make some YouTube shorts and hit the algorithm a little bit, which honestly, I'm making less views doing art streams than I was doing with World of Warcraft. But like I said, I'm doing this for my own reasons. I'm not doing this for the algorithm. I'm not doing this because I want to be famous or all that stupid shit. I'm doing this because this is what I want to do. And I like documenting things. And I'm autistic, so it matches my workflow of like thinking about things in a very meticulous way. And it's just part of who I am, which ironically might actually make this at least somewhat work out as a content creator. Like, to be fair, it might be what drives me, is that the fact that I have an autistic brain. Most people could never do this. This is not normal. I mean, I don't know how to like communicate this, but it's not normal to be a live streamer. This is not normal behavior. But that's okay, you know? Because it's also not normal to be an actress, or to be a model, or to be any kind of artist. It's exceptional because people are too afraid to do it. And so I'm not one of those people. I'm one of the people who is not afraid to do it. I want to express myself. I want to create art. I want to create content. I want to leave something behind. Maybe that's like some kind of legacy, you know, like legacy Andy, you know, like, but I do want to leave something behind, you know, that can hopefully add value to the world while I'm here. The big leagues are calling. Yeah, I don't know about all that, but I do know that I'm just going to do my thing, and I'm going to keep doing my thing. I got some changes coming up in my life. I've been going through a bureaucratic process that I'm sure, I mean, you've been here before. I've talked about this. I don't know if how much you are caught up on it, but I mean, I've talked about it multiple times, that I'm in this bureaucratic process to get me a new housing situation. I think my life is going to start flourishing from there. I'll have a safety net that I've never had before. And I think I'll be able to finally pursue things without this constant threat of, I need to make it or I'm going to suffer. That is going to be over. It's going to be, I can actually focus on things that I want to do and then find what works. And then have the state of mind to be able to actually pursue it. And for now, either way, I'm still going to show up and do art. I'm still going to show up and play World of Warcraft. That's not going to change. I could be a multimillionaire, that I would still be doing that. In fact, if I was a multimillionaire, I could do a lot more content. A lot more art stuff. Performance art. Like street art. Like performance street art? That would be crazy IRL content. But you know, like, I need to calm down. I need to slow my roll. Okay? I don't have the kind of energy to be doing stuff like that right now. And I need to trust that when things are starting to become more aligned in my life, I'm probably going to have more energy for those things. And so I might not have it right now, but I need to trust that it will come. So over here, let's just... some scumbling. gray.
Now I've got your power.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean by the big leagues, but you know, I'm just kind of taking things one step at a time and just focusing on my life the best I can and not having any kind of like specific outcomes in mind. I'm just trying to focus on process. Just like with art. I'm not trying to create anything right now in particular. I just am going to trust the process that right now what I really need is what I'm doing. And trust that it'll work out and I'll have a better vantage point like as time goes on. I'll know where my art is when I'm at a better level to see it, what I need next, and all stuff like that. Well, yeah, I think this one, we can just call it done. Let's see. Is it 17? There we go. And another one complete. Whatever it is, pretty abstract. Yeah, a lot of the stuff I'm doing right now is abstract. I'm not avoiding fundamentals, but I think like a lot of this stuff is I'm trying to combine doing fundamental work and exercises into something that's a little bit more coherent and interesting than just drawing circles a million times. That's basically what my work is right now. I'm literally just focusing exercises towards something more interesting. I don't know if it's apparent that that's what I'm doing, but that is what I'm doing. Is I'm basically just doing different stroke exercises, like kind of like normalizing it to try to, and because the goal is to eventually make stuff that's interesting. So I may as well try to make something interesting while I do those exercises. So I don't really see any of my art right now as particularly good. I don't know if it's particularly bad, but it's definitely not particularly good. There are problems. But I am enjoying it. I think it is interesting. At the very least, it makes you like kind of like say like, what is this? Like, I don't even know. So it is what it is, and I enjoyed the conversation. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna take the rest of the night off probably. If I'm back, we'll do some more art, probably not World of Warcraft. I just don't feel like it right now. I feel like art. Yeah, thanks everybody for being here, and I know things can sometimes be like a bit tough. I know things can sometimes be a bit tough, and it's a masterpiece. I know things are a little bit. I'm not always. I try to keep good vibes here. I try to not let bad vibes infiltrate my stream. It may not always be good vibes here, but I try to avoid bad vibes whenever possible. And I try to create a welcoming space where people can just kind of hang out and we can chat about stuff. I don't really think there's any real other reason, that needs to be. Like, I think it's just awesome to have the ability to live stream, even for somebody that's like a small content creator like me. Like, just knowing that you're there, whoever you are, hanging out in my chat, that's something that could have never existed in the history of the world, really. Like, I'd have to be like on like a broadcaster. Like, I'd have to be on like public broadcasting and get a special license and like all those kind of things, right? And even then, it wouldn't be this easy. Like, I can literally just broadcast from my computer. It's awesome. It's absolutely, I love streaming. I love the whole concept of broadcasting. And I think I do have a talent for it. But I'm not really worried too much about where it's going to leave me. You love my cardigan? Thank you. I'm not really thinking about stuff like that way anymore. I don't think about like, oh, where am I going to monetize? Like, I think that's like the worst thing you can do. The best thing you can do is the only thing that really matters is how do I make the best content? Because if your goal is to monetize, you're not going to be able to monetize shitty content, at least not as well. Like, at the very least, like, it keeps you in the state of mind of thinking about your process rather than what you're going to get from it. Because if you think about what you're going to get from it, that detracts. You should be thinking about the product. You should be thinking about, what am I going to do to make better content? What am I going to do to organize my time, my activities, all these sorts of things. And I try to think that way as an artist. I'm not trying to think anymore of like, oh, I need to monetize, I need to get famous, I need to, like, no, none of that bullshit. I put that away years ago. I've been focusing more on what brings me meaning. And I don't have to worry about content like growth right now. I need to focus on making this a normal part of my life and also maintaining some sense of agency through this bureaucratic process of trying to find me housing, because there's really nothing else I can do. I know that some people would have like, oh, have you tried this? Have you tried this? buddy, you know how far behind the conversation you are. If they knew, if only they knew how far I've gone to try to make this work, it would spin their head round and round like a record baby round. Right, round. Okay, it's like, it would spin their brain, okay? Like, if they knew how far I've gone trying to figure out how to fix my life, it would spin their head around. Like, you have no idea. There's literally nothing short of some magical millionaire donation coming in and saving my life out of nowhere, other than the bureaucratic system I'm trying to go through. Or if I just suddenly get like a bajillion viewers and like people are donating like millions of dollars. Like, that's like the only situation that would save me. I have tried my hardest to try to have agency in my situation. It does not work that way. It just doesn't. I have tried and I've tried and I've tried even the ways that you think I haven't tried. I've even tried more than you might be aware of. Like, some people just don't get it, that they think that this is all like new for me. I have been working on this for 12 years. Like, it's a shame you aren't bigger. You cool? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I feel like I know that people are just trying to be helpful some of the time. I think most of the time. When people try to suggest what you can do to improve your situation, I think what's going on in their head is they genuinely think they're helping. But it's like, buddy, you don't think I've thought of those things already? Like, I have like a full team of people that is their job is to help me find a better living situation. You don't think we've had these conversations and some random dude on my YouTube channel commenting is somehow going to know more than professional people that are like clinicians, and we have been workshopping my life for the past 6.5 years trying to find a solution? Do you really think that you know more than they do? Like, do you really think you know more than I do? I've been the one living it. It's just, I think it's like there's a fundamental misunderstanding and a misalignment that people just, I don't blame them. It's not their fault. They're on the internet, they have their phone, they want to tap away, they want to help. I get it. I've been there. I've been that person tapping away, trying to help somebody. I know what it's like. I've been there many times. And I've gotten past it because I started focusing on my own life. And if I can do it, anybody else on the internet can do it. If I can learn to do it, you can learn to do it. Anyway, bye-bye.